Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines 2. So now we've progressed a little bit. We're a large village and we've got our stone industry over here, and I do think it looks pretty good to have it kind of cut into the hillside like that. That kind of makes sense to me in terms of a stone industry perspective. Cool, the police car is actually going into the facility. And here comes some of the workers, I think. Now we can see we've got some poorly educated workers working here, and this area should be doing its thing. Now, one of the things that I think we've also unlocked is the city budget. So let's have a bit of a look here while we wait for further expansion and things to start happening. We're definitely missing out on some things, but let's have a quick look. So we are earning a lot of money from subsidies actually, which I think is a game balancing mechanism just at the start of the game. So we are a long way off from actually making any real money. Service upkeep is pretty high, taxes is pretty low, and so on and so on. We can take out a loan, but I don't think that's necessarily what we're after at this stage. Taxation, we can start making changes to taxation, and one of the things that we can really look at is services. We don't have production yet. We'll come back to that then in a bit. The services, we've got this going on here. We should actually be exporting. Yeah, we are. So we provide. There's some fees and with some exports there, but we're not quite making any real money out of it just yet. So really, our only thing that we can do at this point is to run in with some taxation. But really, our population is very low, so that's not something that's going to work just yet. We just need to expand a little bit more and a little bit more quickly, I might add. So if we have a look at this area here, there are tons of demand for these two things here, but I don't think we necessarily have. There's not a lot of jobs available. Okay, so let's so that's something that we do need to have a look at. So if we don't have jobs available, let's have a look at the employment side of things. Total workspaces, total employees. I don't know, man. I don't know. It doesn't look like there's an unemployment issue, really. Have a look at population. Can we have... Oh, there's massive unemployment. Employed jobs. Okay, so lots of people not having jobs. Okay, so that's fine. Let's sort that out for them. They're at least working in that area straight away. Let's add a few more. Little few things over here. So we'll expand our industrial complex just a tad, and at the same time we're also going to go ahead and expand this over here. I'm going to go back to the European style just along Broad Street over here. So let's get that going on. So a little bit more commercial popping in, and then hopefully that should drive a little bit more demand for either high or low density residential. But pretty good. Okay, so that's a starting point there. Was there anything else that we unlocked? We've got the fire and that, so we can do college, but for the time being, I'm not gonna go down that route just yet. What we would want to do is just have a look at what our next piece of road network should look like. So what I might do is again, it may be useful for us to run a bit of a road here just to the back of this. So let's start off with a straight section, just up there a little, and we could actually do that just to give us a little bit of guidance. We'd probably stick to those intersections. And then over here, we might want to do like a 90-degree angle just to start it off on that side. And then we'll tie it in on the other side. So if we were to then just see about maybe doing a little something like that to give us a little bit of a road network on the other side of this. Similarly, I would probably... expand this one out maybe into this direction here. So if we were to then say do a little something like, say that. So something like this, really. Like so, and probably.
Pending updates to our power.
Yeah, it needs to be a little bit more like that, I think. So I'll do that. We'll get rid of. We'll clean that up as we further expand. But I kind of like the idea of potentially doing something like this. This gives us the option in the future to have to play around with this a little bit. And now that I kind of think about it, I think it'd be quite important for us to just do this.
Cut back on watering the lawn and shower with a friend whenever possible.
Okay, so if we kind of do those.
Has anyone seen my keys? My keys.
Ones there, okay. And what I want to do is I want to just trim these back just a tad. Yeah, that's going to be okay. And then what we'll do is we want to tie them in to one another here.
Please don't steal my car. I mean, the old Hornbuckle mobile, please. Oh, good. Here they are. Well, never mind then. Thank you.
So if we do that, yeah, that's actually pretty good. And similarly, I want to do something like that. There we go. So that gives us. So the reason I've done that gives us more room around this intersection, and that may be as simple as getting us a bit of queuing space here, or that means we can really upgrade these intersections a little bit later. I might want to do a very similar thing on this side, actually. So let's pull that one back a tad more, say over there somewhere, and at the same time we'll kind of do this. So actually now it's not at all. A grid like pattern anymore. But what I'll do, we'll kind of slowly get it to become a bit more of a grid as we go away. Now, of course, our roads, we always want to see the contours. So we've got a bit of a hill going on up here. So what we might do is we may want to just slowly contour it over that way. What does our gradient look like? 2.5? Yeah, that's fine. Kind of wondering whether that's fine. What I'll do is we'll slowly kind of loop it up here a bit. So something like that. So actually on this side, we're probably going to struggle to get any form of grid going. Okay, and one thing that I did miss out on is I kind of forgot to kind of wrap this guy up here. And I'm kind of tempted to just do that as a bit of a tie-in over there. So that kind of gives us a little bit more room to play with. Now, will we be doing grids in this area? I think we could do a little bit of a grid style pattern. Actually, if we were to run that section through there, which is really kind of nice, we could run a grid. We could run a bit of a grid off of that. Okay. And we could tie it in quite nicely that way too. Okay, so let's get the straight tool going. And we'll try and provide ourselves with a reasonable sized grid there. 160. And I would like a 90-degree angle there, please. There we go. And a 90-degree angle this way. Yeah, I like that. This is going to be a nice grid. Well, it's going to be an interesting grid. We do that. Come on. And what we can do is we can trim it a little bit back there. So you create a bit of node there, and then you can trim it back. So let's okay, so that's a little awkward to do that. Oof, it's really awkward. Let's trim this one back a little bit more. We'll do that, and we'll see if we can't get this to tie in. There we go. So now that will allow us to have a nice grid going on in that general direction. Now, how do I... So up to about 160. Don't snap to stuff, please. Just snap to nothing but the grid for me, please. Ooh, that doesn't want it. So let's go to 90. Yeah, there we go. That's the one. And I would like it to be a straight line. Now, how do we measure? Snap to zoning cell length, please. And to the existing grid. Yeah, there we go. So that's really what we're after. So how far was that? Let's just see. So that's about 4 and 4. So 4 and another 4, really. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's gonna well, we'll go by just a tad. It's interesting that it's not see, that's not working actually. That's not working at all. Anyway, so we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll run it out that way. It's that's not good. That's not good at all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't want to work, does it? Anyway, we'll have to fix that a little bit later ourselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 over there, and so something like that, really. Now, the idea, that's not straight at all. That's not straight even, that's not even close to being straight. So if we wanted to do yeah, I'm not too sure how we're going to tie that together, but I think that could be a quite an interesting little grid there. And I do like the idea that we try and maintain grids. Well, it's going to be the efficiencies that we're going to need, really. So even if we do something like that, that's pretty good. And what we'll do is we'll do our 90 degrees down there. So yeah, that's just generating a little bit more interest there too. And that's okay. I don't mind it too much. That we'll kind of leave that little hill in place. The rest should be pretty reasonable. Okay, we're wanting for a little bit more high density. So we'll get our next block of high density in here, or higher density. So let's go about squeezing those in. And we'll bulldoze these buildings out of the way. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, hang on. Pause it there for just a second while we quickly fix that. Here we go. Perfect. Calm down. Calm down. You should all be okay. Did we... Oh, did I mess up the zoning here? Let's get the zoning back. What was that? Why? This is North American. Oh, it's not. North American. Get it back to North American style, please. Sorry, I don't want us to do... I definitely don't want us to do... And that's not right. Thank you. Again, why? Because there's one little thing there. It's not working. There we go. Oh, come on. Okay, so hopefully we'll see about sorting that out again a little bit. Okay, excellent. There goes the density popping up a little bit more. Some of our roads here, oh, this looks horrible. I think I may just give it a bit of a curve. There we go. That looks, in my mind, that looks way better. It's a bit of a tight curve there, though. Can we... This was the trick you used to do in Cities Skylines 1. If you wanted a curve to work, you do that and that. Now, this might still be a little awkward. Okay, that's a lot better. And what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and... just try and finish that off a little bit. I think that's going to be okay. That is going to be okay. It's a little bit of a kink in there, and we'll see what we get to do with that. This might be like a bit of a roundabout over here. We can most certainly tie these up. That would work, and we can run that one out over into that area. We may as well do it, I think. Can I get a 90-degree angle there? Okay, so we've got a bit of a road running into that area. This is a pretty reasonable little road network, and we try and squeeze a few grids in there as we see fit. That looks way more... Kind of wondering whether we even do this kink or we just kind of tie them together there. I think that one is okay. That is kind of seems to be working. Why do we have so many Robin Streets here? If we do this and we... Let me get that one on.
Has anyone seen my keys?
And then if we tie those in there, that's actually a pretty nice little Elm Street connection with a bit of interest there. And similarly, can we now do some... So if we were to say, like, do a bit of a grid here.
The old Hornbuckle mobile, please. Oh, good. Here they are. Well,
something like that, for instance.
Thank you for listening to
and what we would like to do is, like, just make sure to...
That's right, Glenda. But apparently that's not all good news. We're joined today by an expert guest.
So this does not want to... There's too many other things that switched on here at the moment. There we go. That's not working, is it?
certain representations with an ideological reward.
So what we'll need to do
Entirely apart from the
is
actual
actually get it
rewards enjoyed. For
to work here.
example, consider capital.
One final question, Professor.
So if we do like 80 meters there,
Going to make me richer.
actually 88
Certain metrics
is a reasonable size. So let's try and squeeze a few more grid sections in here.
But what we
That's
are
90.
discussing is the study of a statistical abstraction and its effect.
We'll make it slightly larger. And yeah, this is better.
Priorities.
This is better. So we can try and maintain that one. We can try and maintain a fairly straight connection through there. We could even do one more that runs like this. We do that. There we go. So now these kind of blocks are a little bit more interesting. Actually, we could even do one more block kind of thing situation over here. But let's try and do the short end first. And if we do that at about 80, and we go past there, and then we say, well, actually, we would like you to please do. Actually, that's not. It just snapped at the end there. So this is where, I mean, you need to kind of play. There's a lot of options for you in the game. If we take that one out, then that's kind of a grid, but kind of not a grid. I like the idea of doing these kind of things where we've got our key collector roads doing their thing, and then a lot of local access roads helping us out from there with a lot of interest in the area. And if we did roundabouts, we could do a bit more with it, and so on. So again, we are in need of a lot more of these guys. So what would they actually need to level up? I do wonder what it is that we're missing. So we can do a little bit of work in terms of trying to figure that out. But I think one of the things that we might do now is do a few more spots of, say, okay, let's get some commercial, and we would like to go with the North American style. We'll squeeze a little bit more out over there. Got some there, we've got some there. Something that I'd be interested in is getting this little section of road right over here to be commercial. If we do that, and then right to the back of that, do a little road there. And also do something there, then we could quite easily squeeze a few more things in here. So it's we can add to this commercial mix there, and then what we can do is we can start putting some lots and lots of this in here. Okay, so low density. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to quickly get us to not zone on these primary roads here. Okay, and similarly on that side, I don't want us to zone there. Okay, and so now we've got some zones in here, but they look really funny. Anyway, what we'll do is let's just get 3 wide on this side and 3 wide on that side. We'll have a little bit of a path in the middle. Similarly, we do 3 wide there, and we'll do 3 wide on this side, and again, so 3 by 3 really is what we're after. So let's do 3 there, and we'll do 3 on this side, and yeah, that's kind of what we'll find a little bit more interest in it. Something like that could be a pretty reasonable little zone. Okay, people are seeing a little bit of happiness going in. higher densities. It's interesting. We're getting the long ones and the short ones. That is interesting. I'll keep it the way it is and see what we can get from it. How many people are in here? 26 students there, 78 students there. We really need a ton more stuff to be zoned. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue doing my little pathing thing through here, and like that. Yeah, my zone sizing doesn't seem to be perfect, but I think it's good enough, really. You see a lot of people. Myself I've been quite guilty of just trying to get everything perfect, and in reality, it's not something you can really achieve. So that's good. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Yeah. We'll have to do it. We'll have to do it this way around. So that's all good. What I might do is I might just get it a little bit away from the edges there, but yeah, that should be pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zone that entire stretch. Probably from this side. There we go. Excellent. Get that all zoned, guys. Get that all zoned. Not even at all worried about that. We can also get this entire section zoned. That'll be a bit of an interesting piece there. That's good. Get all of that in place. Lots of zoning going in. Some people are saying they're abandoned. Why? They were unhappy for what kind of reasons? Doesn't seem to be any reason to be really unhappy. Is there anything that's popped in that? Let's have a quick look through some of our bits and pieces. There's a bit of traffic over here. I'm assuming that's traffic, parking availability, or road condition. Oh, that's road condition. So that's okay. Then if we look at traffic, let's see. Yeah, there's really not a lot of traffic. As you can see, probably the biggest traffic on this one, which is not bad. Everybody's got power. We're selling some stuff. Everybody should have water. That's okay. That's probably not the end of the world there. Healthcare coverage may become a little bit problematic now. Even though, I mean, it's still dropping. Is there anything we can do to improve that? Should we just go ahead and bite the bullet and add the extra ambulance depot to the mix there? Oh, we can't. We have to. Let's add the ambulance depot. Hopefully everybody's super happy and that number comes up a little bit more. I'm happy to do that. Waste management is something that we're not doing at all at the moment. We're paying for our own waste to be moving along. So it's something we can have a look at. We've got a little bit of a fire issue. Oh, Old Mills ruin. That's interesting. I didn't even spot that. Oh, I love it. I really love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's go back. This is disaster control. We're not doing that. The police are on top of everything. Doesn't seem to be any issues whatsoever. Average crime rate is pretty low. Administration, I don't think we need anything. We're doing pretty well with regards to education. We don't have any real tourism demand, though people seem to want to come to the high school. I'm assuming that's because of the sports field there. Outside connections is not really applicable to us just yet. Okay, commercial. So what we would like to do is have a bit of a look at our building levels. So our building levels are pretty poor. We would like to see these buildings being leveled up a lot more. So that's definitely something that we'll start looking at. So really you want people to spend their money in this area so that works. And then land value. Oh, it's starting to pop up a little bit in a few locations. This is company profitability. Oh, that one's pretty profitable, it seems. So profitability is a good thing. Average commercial profitability is really good. Industrial profitability is good too. Reasonably good. This is natural resources. So we could do a forestry industry alongside our stone industry. That would actually make a lot of sense. That's okay. We've got a population. We've still got a lot of unemployment, though, and I guess that's what's driving our demand issues. So people, we really need to get upgrading on a few things. Okay, well, let's... Ooh, what is this? Oh, workplace availability. So we have workplace availability here. Doesn't seem to be a big deal. Okay, so how can we upgrade? So let's have a look. If we look at this guy, right? It's saying tons of demand, right? Gas station availability, hotel demand, unoccupied buildings, labor availability, local demand. So everything is really happy, driving all of that. Availability of jobs. So there's just not enough jobs available. So we really do need to have a look at adding some more jobs to the mix. So let's get some more industrial demand in, but I don't want to do a massive industrial city, right? So let's do this. Let's do that. Ourselves one or two more kind of big chunks there. There goes our industrial demand. Good stuff. Now let's have a look. What is the next big piece that we do? Lots of the residential components looking pretty good. We can definitely fill in some trees in here as well. Is that one not zoned? It is zoned. Just for some reason not actually filling in. Okay, that's good. That's okay. Our budget is dropping at the moment, which I don't know. It's not too bad though. Happiness is going up a little bit, it seems. We are seeing some more improvements here. We can really maybe let's unlock a few more tiles. I'm keen on unlocking there and maybe there for expansion's sake. Yep, I think that's going to be okay for the time being. Let's purchase those and see about extending our... we might redo what we've got here anyway. So now let's extend a Forest Street. It's a reasonably sized road here. We would like it to go dead straight, please. Just for a little bit more. And then where are we heading? Probably right in there. So what we would like to do is we would like to switch on our guidelines. There we go. That's a pretty nice little curve there. And then this Elm Street is a little awkward now. I don't like the fact that we have so many Elm Streets anyway. Yeah, this is starting to look really awkward. So we might have to change that up a little bit.
A driving advisory has been issued for the immediate area due to poor road conditions.
Okay, we've got some more higher density demands popping in. We do have a few more spots here. So let's fill out the rest of that.
The city will be experiencing rolling blackouts.
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
Breaks in service and to follow the guidelines on the city's website.
It's a bit weird, isn't it? I don't like the massive ones here.
This is Second Moon Radio.
Is the thing not zoned? It is zoned, but for some reason they want to keep doing the two buys over here. Anyway, I'm not too opposed to it. Just fill those in for us, and we can slowly start filling in the rest of it. So workplace availability. So we could probably expand our commercial just a little bit around the corner over here.
But let us not tarry. On to the next episode.
And probably around this section on this side also.
And we're getting reports about a traffic accident.
We'll do a bit of that.
Road maintenance services have already been dispatched. And
there we go. Okay, excellent. So there we go. I don't know why we've got these abandoned buildings. People will seem to be a little bit unhappy there. So let's drop that one out and that one out, and maybe that gets replaced by something else. There's a little bit more industrial demand. So we can definitely start having a look at that. It's a little bit of a level difference there. It's not too bad. It kind of works. what kind of stuff do we have here. No one's actually doing anything with regards to our stone industry, but hopefully it's oh, and now we seem to have workplaces available.
Did you say panic? She said panic. The death rate is skyrocketing. We've got to get out of here.
So if I were to, now that we've got those two out of the way, maybe what I could do is I could do that. We'll do that, and so now we'll get some more row houses in that one. Because that one was abandoned, that's a good spot for us to then start up some new stuff there. We could also probably do a little bit more with regards to our retail in this area. So let's go with a bit of a European theme yet again. And what I'm keen on doing is maybe let's give it a little bit of room there, and then we just do a 3 wide one over here and see what they come out with over here. Not too big, just a little bit more commercial interest in that area. So you get a few more homes up and running. It's interesting that we see very little low density demand there, but we just need to keep on growing. There are schools and all of our services are available. We've got a lot of efficiencies here. But yeah, I would like to see our population expand a fair bit more and a bit more quicker as well. So this little piece of road, I'm quickly going to redo that. It's not quite. I might get a little bulb in that area. So if we were to then say, let's just get a. Oh, we're still on straight. Okay, hang on. I don't mind this straight section, to be honest. We're going to need... Actually, you know what? Let's grid it out from this side. That's going to be so much easier. So let's just keep running straight from there. Completely straight. Let's try the grid. Let's see what that's actually going to give me. Now, how does that look? That's pretty reasonable. I'm actually pretty keen on... Oh, hang on. That's a little bit far there. We try to not tie into that side. Bring it down just a little bit more. Something like that, I think. Probably about right. So let's grid that up. And then what I'll do is I will get rid of that road connection. I will... get rid of these ones. Oh, hang on. And we'll just tie these together. Or, alternatively, what we can do is we'll trim them in a little bit earlier over there. And we'll get rid of those. There we go. A progression panel, milestone 4, the Grand Village, an extra million, more development points, more expansion permits. And what can we get? Now we've got the district creation tool, so again, please put those names in the comments down below for any districts that you would like to see. We've got the production panel, which I would love to have a look at. Some policies, natural disasters, transportation overview. Yes, that's something that I'm pretty keen on now that we can do some public transportation. Excellent bus depots and the likes, taxi depots, small parks. Oh man, that's going to be awesome. And we've got a forestry and a grain farming industry as well as low rent housing and low density office, which will be an awesome one for us to work on. Now we've got all the way up to parks unlocked, public transport, we've got buses, some other bits and pieces we can unlock if we want to, and parks, and we can do park maintenance and the likes, and communication is still not available to us. But anyway, that looks really good. Let's have a look at that. So that, I like the idea of these grids with our bits and pieces. We could probably do some slightly more interesting pieces here. Maybe expand a little bit more over here. Tie that one in over there into Pleasant Street. But I do like some of these areas to be a little bit more interesting. That one, maybe we'll just try and make that nice and straight in there. There we go. A nice straight intersection right there. Really good. And we've got some nice grids. Looks a little bit funny with the road naming, but that's okay. That should work. I'm kind of tempted to maybe do a little something like this, really. Can we do... I need this one. There we go. That's cool, isn't it? I like it. It just makes things a little bit more interesting. And we have some room for some improved road networks and things like that. We've got a crime scene over here. Oh, now look at all of this demand. We've got low density demand sprawling in everywhere. You know what I would like to do? Actually expand our... Okay, just a little bit over there. Look at that, huh? Yeah, so that's just a little bit more interesting, right? Okay, so let's see. I'm pretty keen on adding some offices. We do need to add some offices. Now, a good spot, maybe this street, maybe Highland Street on this side is actually a pretty good spot for some offices. So let's try and maximize our zoning a little bit by doing something like that, for instance, right? There we go. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. Similarly on this side, what we'll do is that. So yeah, now let's maximize. Let's get some office uses in here. So I'm gonna go with 4 wide on that side. That's gonna make sense to me. And we'll do 5 wide on the other side, and we see what we get out of that little section of Highland Street over there. That's cool. And right next to that, I think we're going to do a little bit more commercial. And we'll do maybe something like that as a commercial area. And we'll do the other side as well. There we go. So now we've got a little bit of commercial and a little bit of office on Highland Street over there. And we'll keep that area a little bit more free so that we can deal with any traffic issues that may pop up. Now, what I'll also do is I'll continue to fill out some low density spots on the back here. Now we've got some low rent housing too. Let's do maybe something like that. That's going to be pretty reasonable. And I was wondering whether we should be maybe blocking some of this off. If we were to just do it too wide at the back here, right? What would that actually look like? Well, very demand rich. People want to do that. So that's very good. And we'll fill out the back of that side as well. Let's just fill out more stuff, really. I'll not zone onto Olive Street. So we'll just do this. And then we'll step it back a little bit. And then we'll do that. Nice. And then what we can, of course, do is get ourselves a couple of pathways through here. Just to make sure that... So now it's going to mess the entire thing up over here. I find it so weird that by adding a little path over there, we've messed up the entire zoning grid. But let's fix that. There we go. I like it. That area is looking to fill in quite nicely. We can probably squeeze in a few more. So the reason this isn't working is because we really need to expand what we've been doing over there so that we can then continue to fill out those and those ones over there. So excellent. Lots of low density demand. Now, we're also seeing a little bit more medium density demand coming in. So I may as well start zoning up some more of that. So Just give me some more row houses, please. We'll do that stretch through there. Oh. See if we can't fill them in a little bit better. Oops. There we go. Probably about the end of today's episode, guys. We've gone to Grand Village. Things are, I think, moving along pretty nicely. We now have our district tool, which I'm very keen on using, and we also have some further extractors that we can potentially make use of, like fertile land, but I'm not going to do fertile land over here. We might do that somewhere in the distance, to be honest. I am pretty keen on reconnecting Olive Street. So let's quickly reconnect Olive Street. That's kind of the last thing that we're going to do here. So let's go straight and then seeing about tying in Olive Street like so. There we go. Okay, so that our road network is starting to look really cool. I'm really enjoying it. We do have a few abandoned buildings due to unhappiness, I think. Lack of entertainment. Ooh, yes, we need parks. And what else did we need? What did we get? Let's just go back to Grand Village and see our milestone unlocked. Public transportation and parks. So let's have a look at some parks. Let's quickly let's do a sprinkling of parks throughout. So I would like to add a few dog parks to the mix. Right over there, I think, is a good spot. A campfire site. Could go over here, but we're not going to do that just yet. We'll do some small playgrounds. These corner spots are really good for a playground every now and again. That's a nice little spot for a playground over there. We've got the dog park, small park. Over there, pretty good. I like that spot there for a small park. In the middle, maybe a slightly larger park, small plaza. Yes, in this area here, I think a small plaza could work really well. I actually want to double it up so it looks like a nice little area, and we can tie in some greenery alongside it. That's pretty good. And maybe a final small park kind of right over here somewhere.
Try to stay off the streets until conditions improve. This has been
so that there's some place for people to come and have their lunch and do things like that. I might do it in there. Let's just get rid of that. That's okay. And then what we'll do is we'll get a bit of a park over here, just so people can, from industry, go and grab a spot of lunch. So hopefully people should now be quite happy with the abundance of entertainment that is available. It's going to cost us a fair bit to maintain. I like this. Can we expand on these at all? No, we cannot. But yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. And we can, of course, try and put some crossings in there if we needed to, but we can expand this into slightly larger parks on here, which I like the idea of. All in all, pretty good, guys. So we've got some parks in there now. We do need to maybe have a look at transportation. Let's actually do the taxi depot while we're at it. The taxi depot can go into this area here. Right, and immediately I'm going to activate the dispatch center so that they can pick up and drop off pretty much everywhere. I will at the same time do a bit of a taxi pickup area, probably maybe right over here somewhere. Probably something along this road over here, and maybe a little something over here. So each of our real commercial kind of areas has a bit of a taxi pickup area. So hopefully people are quite happy with the availability of transport in our area. But now at least we've got taxis going around doing their thing. We can do some more further road upgrades and some further expansion. It's looking a little weird with our grid here, but I kind of like it. The question really does come to mind whether we do add maybe one more connection, but I think ultimately it's probably pretty good. And what we will need to have a look at is just see whether we still maintain a reasonable traffic flow. But it's looking, I think it's looking really quite good. And our demands for, well, now we even have high density residential demand, which is not something that I think we're going to make use of anytime soon. But this area is starting to look pretty good. And we can, even on Elm Street, maybe do some medium density stuff. Just because we're probably going to have some real big corridors for our road network over here. Yeah, so that's pretty good. We'll continue in the next episode, guys. So again, if you've got some name suggestions for districts and areas, please pop them down below. We will take a next episode in the next maybe couple of episodes to really put some names out there. I will see you next time. Hit that like button if you've enjoyed it. Bye bye.